3. Hello everybody, welcome to Tuesday Night Pro Scrims with Revan and Chewy. Tonight we have Complexity going up against Reckless, and these guys from Reckless, they were the ones that earned their spot. They actually beat Complexity in our last 2000 series, but that was all game battles search and destroy. Tonight we're playing MLG rules, Chewy, and we're going to see if Complexity can get their revenge.
Oh yeah, for sure. These guys have got such a strong respawn game that I think they're going to be the ones to take those. But, you know, Reckless, as you said, taking the win over Complexity the other day in the GB variant Search and Destroy game. So I think they could be incredibly close, and they definitely want to, you know, come on and beat them for the second time.
Well, I was reading some of the Complexity tweets earlier today. I know that Aches, he's probably going to be running a swarm. So they want to demolish these guys. They want to show no mercy. And the player I'm going to be looking out for is Aches. Whenever he's fired up, he's a man on a mission, and I think he's going to be turning things up tonight.
Oh, for sure. But, you know, then again, on the other hand, you can't class any of these Complexity players out on any game mode from pretty much going off. And I think the guy I'm going to be watching out for, and I think a lot of people in the chat are going to be watching out for, is Crimsix. Because, you know, he's just a robot. He really is. He's a beast.
All right, but if you don't know the players on Reckless or War, War actually stands for We Are Reckless. These guys, they've been playing Search and Destroy forever. I mean, Stoner, he's been playing Call of Duty Search and Destroy game battles matches since he was in diapers. So they're very familiar with that game type and Call of Duty in general. So I'm hoping to see some close games out of them. But the game types we really want to keep an eye out for is, of course, going to be the Search and Destroy ones. But keep interacting with us throughout the whole day on Twitter, hashtag MLG, as well as hashtag Complexity or hashtag Reckless, whoever you think is going to win. I know that my vote, it's going to go to Complexity. So if I'm on Twitter right now, I'm hashtagging Complexity, hashtagging MLG, and then we'll post up the results to the poll periodically throughout the broadcast.
Now, I remember last time we casted together, Revan, I said that FaZe were going to take the match, and you said that Quantic were going to take it. And you were right, obviously, as always, yeah, 5-3, and you even called the score. So I'm going to go with you today and agree with you, and I definitely think Complexity are going to take this best of 9.
All right, so I guess the question is, do you think Reckless is going to be able to win any maps here?
I think they could stand a chance with the Search and Destroys, you know, although it's, of course, MLG variant rules now and not GB variant rules.
And that changes up a lot.
Think it's going to be close. Yeah, it does. It can change up a lot, but as you said earlier on, they've been playing Search and Destroy for absolutely ages, so I think that experience mainly could come into play, but Complexity, of course, you know, they're on a three-peat right now. They've won 3 events in a row. They are definitely on a hype, so I think their Search and Destroy game is top-notch, obviously, as all of their game modes are, so I think if there's going to be any game mode, Search and Destroy is going to be the one for Reckless to take, but I think they'll take 1 or 2.
Well, I don't think they're going to have a chance in Hardpoint. That seems to be Complexity's strongest game type without a doubt. So I think this first map, it's probably going to go Complexity. The first map will be Raid Hardpoint. But Capture the Flag, I think, is a game type where War, they could stand a little bit of a chance. I mean, if they play it right, they could play, you know, some 3 guys on defense, 1 guy to sneak around trying to play the objective. But there's some certain play styles that they can implement in Capture a Flag, which would give them some sort of a fighting chance. But Chewy, the first map has started. We're kicking off the action, as I just said, with Raid Hardpoint.
Yep, Raid Hardpoint is the map. I love Raid. Of course, we do see it in all 3 game modes. We do see it in Hardpoint, CTF, and Search and Destroy, so maybe we'll see it pop up later on in the series. But I think, you know, Revan, we've got to jump on board with the guys from Complexity.
And actually, Aches, he's the player I want to start on board with here. So, War, they got something to prove here in the respawn game types, but Aches, I said it earlier, he's a man on a mission here. He's not going to be using the Swarm, so not too confident, or actually not showing too much cockiness off the first map here, but he's got the Worm Shield, and actually Huskers, he's off to a strong start. As Complexity, they have 0 points right now, True. You see Huskers, he's on a 2-kill spree. They're starting off very strong, 15 unanswered points.
Oh yeah, and we did just see Egg spawn down there towards that bottom driveway section, and I believe Crimsix has also spawned down there. So not only have the guys from Reckless managed to get the, you know, the first 21 seconds on the hardpoint hill, they've actually got the spawns as well. We do see Bevel say back in this laundry section, going to see if anybody's contesting him, and the Complexity have got some time on the hardpoint now, so they're starting to rack up the score, which is just what they need, obviously. And yeah, score is now 21-15, still leading up, and yeah, Bevel's just chilling out right back here towards this laundry section, making sure that his team are going to get the spawns now, because, you know, you have that first hill over on that raid section, and then you've got to make sure that you can concentrate towards the middle kitchen, because you do not want to lose spawns for there.
All right, so after the first hard point, it's virtually tied here, only a 1-point game, but now Aches, he's on a 4-kill spree. Now he's on your screen. You see Crimsix in the hard point, but here come all 4 players from Reckless. They're making way towards the hard point, switching over to Crimsix here, finds one in the back as he cleans up Huskers, and now he's got score streaks to work with. He got his Hellstorm Missile and his Lightning Strike, switching over to TP now as he just trades kills inside the hard point. So now Complexity, they're starting to build a little bit of a lead, but there's still plenty of time left to be had, as now you see Clayster, he's doing work over near the middle map, and this is where all 4 players from Reckless are going to be pushing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Clayster is definitely the guy to watch. In my opinion, like with his assault rifle work, in my opinion, he's the best assault rifle player in this game. I don't know why, I just think he's really proven himself since he came onto the Complexity squad. So he's always such a top player to watch, and yeah, he's going to start rotating over here towards this pool section. He does meet up with Devils there, great call on him, and he's already starting to shoot bodies. So there's definitely a lot of rivalry between these guys, and we've only just started the series. He does unfortunately get taken out there by Legend, who knew he was coming, and he's unfortunately going to spawn out there. Now they need to do all of the rotations, as we do see 2 of the Reckless guys already set up there on that next hard point. That is going to be Bevels, who's in the hill at the second, and he's also got the support there from Legend, and yeah, the rest of the team around there as well. They're still getting those spawns.
So despite being fairly unfamiliar with the hardpoint game type, at least at the top competitive level, they're doing a pretty good job against Complexity right now. It's only a 20-point game. They won the rotation to a garage hardpoint. They had a decent setup right there. They were able to get around 15 seconds before Complexity pushed in and broke this up, and now they have control as TP's on a 3-kill spree. But so far, they're looking okay. Bevels is doing a great job rotating as the anchor player, staying alive and getting them spawns, but it's really what I've seen them struggle with so far off these first 3 hardpoints is protecting it from the outside, right? They have that first line of defense on the outside of the hardpoint. Then once that gets broken, it all crumbles for Reckless. But once again, they're going to be the first to rotate to the hardpoint. We're going to see if they could hold on to it this time around.
Yep, and you do see Clayster and Aches there starting to push towards that pool section, and the score streak's going to come in. Let's see if it picks up any players at all. It's not, though, and we do see Huskers and Stoner. Sorry, Stoner does get taken out, but that's a lovely push there from Aches, managing to pick up the 2-piece. We'll switch on board with him again. Hardpoint is contested. He takes out a 3rd, and he's so close to that Hellstorm missile already. Strong plays there from Aches to be able to push into the hardpoint, take control of it, and they're just going to be able to extend their lead right now. They've got support in the hardpoint as well there. Score is 114 and rising compared to 42. Still 6 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock, so plenty to play for now. Reverend, I've got to ask you, of course, because you're a great player as well as a caster in this game. No, I just got to say that. It's so nice of me to say. But, you know, these Reckless guys, as you said, they're not the strongest hardpoint players because they're so focused on search and destroy. Do you reckon they would have done much preparation and much research into the Complexity guys for this Pro Scrim match?
I mean, I would hope so, because they did get a lot of community flack against them for accepting the invite to Pro Scrims. So I would hope that they've been practicing. I know for a fact that they most likely watch all of the major competitive tournaments, so they know that Complexity, they know who Complexity is. They should have an idea of how they play. However, you know, they just match up, it looks like, a bit weaker here. They were up to a very strong start off the start of the game, but now Complexity, they've built themselves a lead here. They're up by 80 points and counting now. As Legend, he gets cleaned up. I'm going to switch over to TP, who has score streaks to work with, a Hellstorm and a Lightning Strike of his own. And he's kind of like the dirty objective player for Complexity. He's always going to be the guy inside the hard point. He's the objective mastermind as well. He's going to be running the most flags and capture flag, and most likely will be the bomb carrier for them in Search and Destroy.
Nice stuff. And let's have a look at the scoreboard though and see what's going on right now. Crimsix is 16 and 11. This is a guy who I said to definitely watch out for on hardpoint, and he's already got those 9 defends as well. So over half of his entire kills so far have been inside the hardpoint, which is definitely an important thing when you're playing that SMG role. As you said earlier, TP's just moved himself up to a 3 score streak right now, halfway to overlap that Hellstorm missile. I'm sure he'll use it before that point though, and he's just going to be able to pick up the scrap time on this next, on this last hardpoint. He's going to call in that lightning strike though. It looks like using that tablet. Going to see if he can pick up anybody on the next hill. It looks like he could pick up 1 or 2. He's only able to pick up Huskers though, it seems, and they're going to get the initial few seconds on this hard point, starting to push in now.
Yeah, so the first time we saw these guys battle out the middle hard point, it was Reckless off the start of the game. You know, they were able to control it for around half the time. Complexity got the other half, but this time around Complexity, they got score streaks to work with, and they were able to clear out Reckless almost instantaneously here. So as Complexity, they build around a 130-second lead. They're looking to close this one out in fashion. As I want to take a look at the scoreboard after TP. A nice kill there on the Legend. He's looking to do more work off the respawns here. He gets cleaned up. Let's take one more look at our scoreboard here. So 20 and 11 for TP. He's on top of the leaderboard. Aches is 22 and 14. He's got the most kills. I mean, it just looks like they're getting outslayed right now. Yeah. You got Huskers. He's doing the best for his squad. Actually, Bevels, he's 16 and 19 now. But TP cleans up 3 with the Hellstorm missile. And do you see any way Reckless can come back into this game, Chewy?
I honestly don't at all. And another thing with that scoreboard as well, this is something that I always love to point out, is those defends. Have a look at the defends there for the Reckless guys. They've not got many at all. They've got 5 between the whole team there, whilst Complexity have got absolutely loads. I can't even count them. So it's that's one of the defining things, and they're just slaying them across the park pretty much, as we'd like to say over here in Britain. So yeah, TP was on a 4-score streak, I believe, just then, but he gets taken out, and he's got none of his streaks left. They only need about 51 points left to close out this game, whilst Reckless have got a lot of work to do.
All right, on board with Ache says he gets cleaned up inside the hardpoint, but we got to give Placer some camera time. We haven't seen him much throughout this whole game, but he's actually has dogs as his 3rd kill spree or score streak. He hasn't gotten close to that yet, but these guys from Complexity, I think after this great performance on the first hardpoint, I think for the next respawn game types, they might try to get those higher tier score streaks here. But now Bevels from Reckless, he's trying to make his way to the hardpoint, but only 10 seconds remaining. They should actually be more focused on the garage hardpoint. The next one, after see Complexity, they have at least 3 players over there. One just got taken out in the middle, but it's going to be up to this guy for Reckless. It's going to be Stoner on your screen now, able to find Placer, but one more player inside the hardpoint. It's going to be TP here, and Reckless able to make the 2-piece happen, so that's going to give control to Reckless for the time being, as they're trying to get over 100 points here. They still face quite the deficit, as they're down by around 120 overall, but it's still mathematically possible, Chewy.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it would be a pretty crazy comeback if we did see something like that, and definitely something I don't think many people would be expecting, considering they are facing up against a squad so strong as Complexity, especially on their respawn game modes. But you do see Complexity trying to push in through this red area, through this bottom arc area, seeing if they're going to have any luck. But the defense work here from Reckless is really proving dividend, as they just keep racking up time here. On this bottom garage hardpoint, we've got 21 seconds before it is going to rotate, obviously, towards that basketball hardpoint, but they have got over 100 points now, and it's still scoring up. But with the fact that Complexity only need about 40 seconds or so left for the rest of the match, I think they're definitely going to take this one.
Yeah, definitely a tough road ahead for Reckless, but Stoner, he gets stopped just short of his score streaks. You see Huskers working towards his, as Bevels, he's always the guy in front for Reckless trying to lead the rotation. Nice shots there as he takes out Placer, but they got to get to this hard point, Chewy, as you said. Only what now, 35 seconds left for Complexity before they close this one out. Bevels, he's going to lead the way, but he just doesn't have that much support right now, as he gets tagged up, able to find one on the Aches. They got to get in there pretty soon. I mean, time not on their side here. Huskers now on a 5 kill spree. He's one away from score streaks, but I mean, score streaks only going to help out so much, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And another thing that I want to point out as well about the things that I love about Complexity when they play hardpoint is if one of their players go down, if they've got that support in there, if one of their players inside the hills go down, another one seems to always jump in and give them another hand. They try their best not to leave just one person fighting out on their own in the hill, and they're always there to support each other. And I think it's such a key tactic in hardpoint and pretty much in any game mode to always have each other's back and support each other. And Complexity always seem to do it so well. But Bevels is actually on a 4-score streak right now. As soon as I jump on board with him, the Codcaster's Curse comes in big, and he gets taken out, unfortunately. And yeah, Huskers just manages to scrap up those last few times on that basketball hardpoint before we do rotate towards the next one. But TP's going to be in the hardpoint. No, he does jump out as soon as I say that, of course. And yeah, just a couple more seconds left, and easily going to take this one.
Yeah, so Complexity, they're going to take the first map by a total of 108 points, it looks like. I want to take one more look at our scoreboard once the game allows us to, but very convincing win for Complexity, as expected in that hardpoint match. But coming up next, we are going to be moving to Search and Destroy, where Reckless, this is probably their best bet to take some maps away from Complexity. It's actually going to be on the map Meltdown. So Meltdown S&D up next as we take one more look at our scoreboard. Let's see who shined for both teams. So 36 and 29 Aches with 8 defense, 10 captures for Huskers, as he does the most he can for his team, but ultimately it just wasn't enough, Chewy.
No, not at all, and just what you pretty much expect, not putting anything away from Reckless, but as we've said, they are a strong Search and Destroy team, and Complexity are an incredibly strong hardpoint team, so yeah, just pretty much goes by the book, exactly what you'd expect from that. But Meltdown Search and Destroy is the next map, one of my favorite Search and Destroy maps, and I think this could be a lot closer.
All right, keep interacting with us through Twitter. Tweet the stream as well as hashtag Complexity or hashtag Reckless, whoever you think is going to take the pro scrim, as well as hashtag MLG. Otherwise, your tweet doesn't really count for our polls that we're doing. But we're going to head to a quick commercial break. When we return, map number 2 for tonight's pro scrim between Complexity and Reckless.